This is the most important piece of copywriting advice that I have. The most important piece, without a doubt. If you listen to anything, listen to this. I want to start, if you guys are okay, with something that's really important to me, which is where I started as a copywriter, how I took that leap from hearing about copywriting and like figuring out that you could make money from it to actually getting my first client. I already had a bit of an interest in writing. It was kind of fun. I knew how to do it, but I was like, I wonder if I can make money from this. So like everyone, you type in how to make money with writing or some such formula on Google. And then you discover there's this thing called copywriting that's out there. There's a lot of people who brand that term around. They say, hey, get rich with copywriting, 6-figure copywriting, etc., etc., etc. That dream is so achievable. It's so achievable, I know, because I've achieved it. But the one thing that I want to stress here, and the one thing that I know makes copy that very different, we're not gonna BS you and say that, hey, there is this one absolute stone cold method that you should be using to become a copywriter in 2023. There's not one method, okay? I don't feel comfortable with people who say this is the only way you can do it. And the reason they say that is because they want to sell you a $600 course. If you just watch this stream, if you watch the rest of the free content that we have put out on YouTube, you can become a copywriter and you can earn a lot of money from it. The thing that made me realize that was when I was on Fiverr and I got my first gig. I remember getting the payment and I was like, no way. I was like, I've just been paid for writing. That's so cool. So I want to just give you my top 3 tips for actually making it as a copywriter, the things that I did before we kind of opened the panel up. So number 1 is immerse yourself in the world of copywriting and ads. I don't mean buy every course. I don't mean buy every copywriting book. I mean, when you're out in the world on the internet, look at ads that flash up in front of you. Click into them, sign up to email lists, buy products. Look at the emails you get sent, and then look at the other ads that come up after you've seen something on Facebook. Are you getting the same kind of ads? Are they tracking you because you've already bought something from them before? Are they tracking you because they've been on a website before? And even though to begin with, you're going to feel like, my God, this is so overwhelming, there's way too much here. And you will feel like that to begin with. I promise you that if you make a conscious effort to just look at all of them and read them, you will start to see so many patterns, and subconsciously, you will start to build up that copywriting knowledge. Like, you don't even need to do anything. There's not even a theory to it. There's not even a strategy. It's just read the stuff that's out there that people are already writing. Read your emails, read ads, look at them, watch YouTube ads at the beginning of videos, especially on our videos, as we like to say. If you do all that, I promise you, you are going to become gradually and kind of passively a better copywriter than I'd say 80% of the people that we see, like straight off the bat. Please immerse yourself in ads because it makes such a huge difference. The number 2 thing is please actually write copy. You have no idea how many people don't even start. I mean, I think you guys would agree. They get so caught up in just reading the books about copywriting and they never actually try themselves. I promise you, the only way to get better at this is to just write copy. It's great if you can share it with people. There's the Copy That Discord server. There's the Copywriting Collective Discord server community. Both of those are places where you can get your stuff critiqued for free. And of course, if you join us, we have a Patreon as well, where we like to critique. Is it every Thursday, guys? I think we critique Patreon's copy.
It's 2 Thursdays every month. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to like every single Thursday at this particular point yet. That's a lot.
Disclaimer.
That's a lot.
Disclaimer. Yeah. Just write copy. You will suck. You suck right now, probably. But that's okay. Because all you have to do is suck less than the person you're writing for. And the way to do that is to write more than they write. And that's really easy to do. Number 3, this is the most important piece of copywriting advice that I have. The most important piece, without a doubt. If you listen to anything, listen to this. You need to say yes. You need to say yes to every opportunity that you get. Anytime that someone asks you to help out with their business, like a family or a friend or whatever, say yes. You can never go wrong if you're writing copy. And the best opportunities I've ever had are when I've just said yes to people. I don't think any of us were confident before we started. Like, we were scared and you have to be scared. So that's the first thing. The most important thing for you is just to say yes to any opportunity you get. Those are my 3 kind of top, mantras, I guess, to keep in mind. Those are the 3 things I wish I could go back and tell myself now.
Saying yes forces you to go figure it out live. And you will never do that when you just stay in theory land. And you'll never feel ready. You will never feel as perfect as you want to feel. It'll just force you to get out there and get your hands dirty. Surround yourself with people who are also doing copy and writing copy. There's so much that you can learn from being a part of a community. Just being around copywriters who are talking about it all day, every day. I just learned a lot more than when I'm kind of studying it by myself at home in front of a computer.
If you're just in a room on your own with access to like barely anything else, how do you know if you're getting better?
Writers, people who want to be professional writers, are a notoriously angsty, anxious, very hand-wringy, very nervous sort, nerds. They're nerds. I am a nervous wreck. What if I fail? What if I mess up for the client? The best advice that I have, if you are asking questions like, what even is a copies? Google and YouTube are going to be your best friend. Copy that may even be your best friend, though I don't want to encourage any parasocial relationships. The step above that, once you get into like, okay, I kind of understand what this copywriting thing is, that's the point where you are ready for theory. How much theory? Start with 2 books. One problem that I see again and again and again is that people will just start reading copywriting book after copywriting book after marketing book after marketing book, and they won't do anything else. I think a really good comment that we just got, theory is addictive, is a good way to put this. Your anxiety is going to force you to go looking for cheap dopamine hits, reading a book, learning a thing. All of these things are going to sort of like lead you astray into territory where you get stuck. Because rather than like the real painful, threatening anxiety of like actually practicing and performing in front of real people, that is getting a client or applying for a job, you're going to sort of retreat into this little turtle shell of like, I'll just keep learning more. I'll just keep reading more. I'll just keep working on my spec pieces, stuff like that. And so the best advice that I have for you this year is read 2 books, then start reading a ton of copy, then start actually writing and practicing. And then once you've learned how to revise and edit yourself reasonably well, show it to other people, either forums, groups, via the Copy That Show Patreon. I'm gonna show a banner right now. Hey, this is the thing. As long as you keep yourself moving up that ladder of skills and forcing yourself out of your comfort zone, you're going to make progress. You can't not make progress. So that's the advice that I have for 2023. What are the 2 books? It doesn't really much matter if you go to, hold on, I have a banner for that too, copythatshow.com. We have an entire page of the books that we recommend. Just pick 2 random ones that feel like they would be like applicable to the kinds of things that you're interested in, and then just read them. And then that would be enough theory for now.
My advice for this year is a little bit contrary maybe to what a lot of people online are saying right now. I see a lot of ads for, hey, get in on this new AI copywriting, get in on this like crazy tech bubble plan, roadmap, whatever. While I'm not going to say that those are not niches or approaches that don't work, I think that if you are someone who is just starting out, who doesn't have a good foothold in your copywriting abilities yet, it's not super realistic for you to buy a course, hear someone lecture you for an hour or 2 on some technology you've never heard of before, and then bam, have a ton of success. What I would recommend is to start where you are. And what I mean when I say that is right now, you person watching the stream, you are living in a place, you might have a job, you might be thinking about getting a job, you might have been studying something. We live in a world that no matter what you do, advertising is going to be related to that thing in some way. And so the easiest way for you to get a foothold in advertising is to leverage the skills and experiences you already have to start doing your first couple jobs, or do your first couple of gigs. That's actually how I got my start in copywriting, doing political work. And so I had some experience doing speech writing for political campaigns, and I kind of turned that into a, hey, well, let me like do some of your online messaging. Let me write some of your landing pages. Let me write some of your emails. And it was a lot easier for me to pitch my services and get jobs that way because I already had experience. And more importantly, I already understood how that other sort of world worked. And so if you're just starting out right now, if you had any other kind of job, think about the ways in which you could maybe like pitch an old boss for, copywriting work or some other kind of advertising work.
Explore what you already said, Alex, and also you, Sean. like you need some theory to get started. Like if you don't have a framework in your head, or at least some idea of what marketing is, then you're probably just going to go into the wrong direction. But what I think is even more important is that some things you just can't learn with theory. If you were to go learn skiing, you could read a ton of books and you could prepare and you do the exercises in your own bedroom and you'd look really silly. But the moment you're, on the piste, you gotta strap those skis on your feet and you gotta go down there and probably hit the snow with your face a couple times, right? It's like you can't just not apply and not actually go out into the real world and do the things that you've learned. You're gonna have to work with clients that suck. You're gonna have to work with clients that are great. You're going to have to learn to interpret the needs and the wants that your clients have. Because if you don't learn those, like you're never going to be able to have a successful project. And truthfully, you're probably going to fail a couple of projects, and it's perfectly fine. But if you don't go and actually work for people, you're never going to be a copywriter. So there's never going to be a point where you're going to say, well, I'm ready, because you won't be ready until you do it. You won't learn these skills until you actually start applying them.
So I'm guessing if you're watching this right now, you're probably interested in how to become a copywriter, or at least get better at it. So check out this video. Now, this video is all about how to succeed as a copywriter in 2023. And if you're curious about how to earn a lot of money or even just expand your client base currently, then this is really the video you want to watch.